Good evening. Now this is continuing the theme, how to cook vegetables so you don't murder them to death. Now we're going to deal with what we could call the very difficult one, most difficult one of all, which is the, as you can see, the sprout, the Brussels sprout. Although probably not grown in Brussels, but in fields all around, it comes either on a vine or obviously picked separate in a bag. I quite like this. I'm going to try this for the first time. These are rather dino sized sprouts, you know, they are sort of, you'll eat twice the normal size. So I've got a few ingredients here which I'm going to use and to describe how I would like the flavours to pan out, literally. So we've got our sprouts. We probably only need about half of those, but that would do a good serving of 4 or 5 people for dinner. Now, with our sprouts, I want to try adding something slightly different. So I've got some pancetta, which is like chopped smoky bacon, which you could also use. I like this because it's quite thick cut and it won't sort of brown too quickly through. I've got some Stilton cheese, and now I have some old leftovers which I roasted as explained previously, or in an oven, and you can see they just had some foil over them and some cling film in the fridge to keep them moist, and the tin foil just stopped them from overcooking. So on a fairly low heat, 150 degrees for about an hour and a half. I actually had to turn the heat up with the foil in because it seemed to be sealing the moisture in and cooking it at a lower temperature. Here is some pulled chicken from the carcass, and I have boiled the chicken broth stock down and have my chicken stock here, which I prepared earlier, and it's been in the fridge. It's I've added a bit of flavouring to it, but I'll come back to that. And finally, I think to cook sprouts you need another ingredient, which is sage. Now I get that from our stuffing mix again, and we can use a fairly standard stuffing mix, or alternatively I've got some herb here which I found in the shops recently, which wasn't there previously. So we're going to make a start, but we're just going to think about how we might cook it. Looking at some of the other recipes online, you generally see people will cut these sprouts in half, and they generally need about a good 40 minutes or so in boiling water. But we're not going to boil them, as we said before. We're going to grill them, well, actually bake them under aluminium foil in the oven, and on an oven tray. So without further ado, I'll get started on the preparations and be back in a few minutes when things are starting to go on the boil, underway.